It's cold. Let me tell you, it's snowing and it is cold out today here in Michigan on this Saturday, and it is the Sabbath day, January the 28th, 2017. Good morning, YouTube, and welcome to this week's service on the Sabbath. I don't have my coffee. I'm out where I believe pastors need to be. They need to be out. I love to be outdoors, but it's pretty cold out. But we need to go. The pastors need to go out, leave the home and leave the building, the fellowship hall, the church, and go out into the communities and to where the sin is, and to where the hurt is, and to where the poverty and the homelessness abounds in the inner cities, and spread the gospel of Jesus Christ. And I'm out here today because this is where I want to be. This is where I want to be. Jeremiah 29:11. I want to preach on this scripture on this Saturday for all of you. It's the scripture that I held on to in my darkest hour, the worst of times when I was homeless. Jeremiah 29:11. I held on to these words. I know the plans that I have for you, saith the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not harm you, to give you hope and a future. And that's something that's very powerful. That scripture got me through the darkest of days and the hardest of times when I was homeless, and my wife and we were wondering how we were going to even feed our kids the next day. When we were homeless, we didn't stand on the corner and hold a cardboard sign. We worked all through our homelessness. We didn't have time to stand on a corner and ask for help, but we will work for food. We were working for food. Many people today are homeless, and they work. They work very hard to pull themselves out of homelessness. And I hung on to that scripture. We worked the entire fair and festival circuit across Michigan and Indiana. While being homeless, we had an old 1998 Pontiac Grand Am. When the whole back end was smashed and everything we had, we put in that old Pontiac. As we worked, we were fortunate enough, before we lost everything, to acquire some airbrush equipment and a 10 by 10 tent, and easy up. And we did airbrushing. I don't know if you've ever been to a fair or a festival or a carnival in the summertime, and there was an airbrushing booth there, and that's what we did. We worked long hours, just to try to get enough to get something to eat that night and to get back on our feet. And I kept hanging on to Jeremiah 29:11. I know the plans that I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not harm you, to give you hope and a future. And I hung on. I hung on to that scripture while we worked so very hard in the cold and the heat and the wind. I remember we were in Gladwin County once and working a festival. We were so hungry because what little we took in, we made sure our kids ate, and other homeless people, we wanted to make sure they had something to eat. And a windstorm came up, and it was so treacherous it tore down. Twice we lost everything. We saved the equipment, but we lost the tent, the easy up, and that happened in Gladwin County. Then in Davison, Michigan, we were doing the Festival of the Flags. I got a video on YouTube somewhere called The Night of Salvations, and we worked the Festival of the Flags, and also had a booth where young people came, and we preached the gospel of Jesus Christ to them. And I think we had 30 salvations that day. And when the day ended, we went back to our car. True story. And I still hung on to Jeremiah 29:11. We had enough money scraped up to get out of the elements one night, and we found it was way up north in Michigan. In no man's land, it was a little hotel, no other stores or anything around. And when we pulled up, there were cars sitting on cement blocks, no wheels, and they were up on blocks. And there was a very strange caretaker of this little hotel. No other patrons were there but us. And I'm thinking this is something out of a horror movie. I remember letting the wife sleep while I kept watch all night long. But still, in all that we faced, I held on to that scripture. He had plans for me, and he didn't want to harm me. Yahweh did not have any plans to harm me, but to prosper me. And he did. It gave me hope and a future. We pulled ourselves up by our bootstraps out of homelessness and got into a trailer. In a trailer park, and it seemed like a mansion. It seemed like a mansion. And he has brought me to this ministry, and he brought me to try to go out and to bring hope to the others that are out there in the same situation that we were in. And God has blessed me and my family so immensely. From the trailer to the black mold and the roof leaking and buckets to catch the rainwater when it rained in the trailer, and the floors gone, giant holes in the floor, to bringing me to where we are today. But so sadly, it's I feel the weight of the world on my shoulders. Just the only plans that I have is not to prosper, not myself, but to go out and to give others that scripture, Jeremiah 29:11 again, and let the homeless know that, and read that scripture that God says, I know the plans I have for you. And this is for all of you listening out there. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you, to give you hope and a future. And I've been trying to spread that. I just want to share that with all of you today. And ministry announcements again, of course. No help with our ministry. No offerings. It's been a while now, have come in. I'm going out today. I can't feed anyone today, but I can preach. I can pass out Bible tracts and blankets and thermal blankets and just share the love of Jesus Christ with them. We're in a dark time, a dark day. So many have come on the attack through Satan, used by Satan. Even one person in the comments of my video, and then I think they delete the comments, Blue Arrow Vanilla. What she doesn't inform anyone was that there was a time when she was homeless, living in a car. And this ministry pulled together and got her out of homelessness, and we raised $2,000 to take her out of homelessness. And but this is what happens. The devil will take whatever is good and turn it to evil. Pray for this ministry. We're $3,000 in debt, and I'm still believing in Jeremiah 29:11. I got about a week to save this ministry. I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you, not harm you, to give you hope and a future. I'm looking for hope and a future to keep this ministry going so I can spread the love of Jesus. I'll put the link to our ministry below. God bless you.